What? What time is it? What, you expect me to see the Disney cut of The Rise of Skywalker sober? Alright, well, after seeing The Rise of Skywalker again, there seems to be some outrage over the ending.
You know, I'm something of a
Skywalker
myself.
There's clearly some debate over who the Chosen One is now, so I'm just going to settle this once and for all. The Chosen One is, drumroll please, Rambo, it's Anakin. In my last video, I already said Anakin was still the Chosen One, but for some reason, Twitter users are smashing their keyboards over this, claiming Disney now made Rey the Chosen One and fucked up the Chosen One prophecy. It's almost like if they would do a little research, they could calm down and figure out the Chosen One prophecy has been vague and confusing since 1999. Either that or take a Xanax, whole bar ought to do it, wash it down with 23.5 ounces of Four Loko. That'll make all this Star Wars stuff feel a lot better. Works for me. Side effects may include death. But that's okay, because Star Wars makes me want to die anyway. Here's my reasoning that Anakin is still the Chosen One. Just because I want him to be. It's not like a law or something you have to follow. Just don't think that way. Pretty simple. Alright, Rambo, calm down, I was kidding. Oh my god, you farted! A lot better arguments can be made about how he's still the Chosen One. So let's break it down. Oh, and Happy New Year or whatever. First off, the Chosen One bloodline is always destined to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Anakin sacrifices himself to save his son and bring balance to the Force. Luke sacrifices himself to save Rey and Leia so the Resistance can survive. And the last of the Skywalker bloodline, Ben Solo, sacrifices himself to save the woman he loves. Something Anakin himself wanted to do but could not. The prophecy only said he would destroy the Sith. It never said that he would be the first to Force heal or save people from dying. Those were his own aspirations, not the cosmic forces. They're two separate things. I know a lot of people are struggling with this online. So many people are raging because Rey and Ben can Force heal and Anakin and Luke could not. I understand some of your frustrations, but maybe I can help you look at it from a new perspective. First point I want to make is pretty simple. It's called progression. NBA games used to look like this, and now it looks like this. Strong men used to look like this, and now they look like this. People in the 1800s were all fucking midgets, but now the average height dwarfs over them. Doesn't mean these players were bad, or that this guy isn't still jacked. But over time we improve. Also, I'm gonna say it. Technically, Rey read the sacred Jedi text and Luke did not. Because Rian Johnson turned Luke into someone that does not care about Jedi.
Luke Skywalker
Doesn't care about
Jedi.
Ben Solo is directly linked to the Chosen One bloodline, so him learning to bring back someone from the dead is not far-fetched. He's naturally talented. And how do we know Luke never learned to Force heal? I guarantee Disney will come out with a comic book in the next year or two that reveals Luke learned the power before Rey or Ben. And even if they don't, why is everyone so angry about this and suddenly acting like the themes of Force healing and bringing back people from death weren't introduced back in Revenge of the Sith? Oh, and also Obi-Wan Force healed Luke in this scene, which is Force heal's first appearance, but no one wants to talk about that all of a sudden. That's just all based on looking at the movies from a filmmaking standpoint. But from my own personal standpoint, the way I think about it is, why is everyone suddenly acting like they've never played a Star Wars video game before? Here's a list of a few Star Wars video games that included the Force heal ability. Here's a list of all the instances of Force heal being used in the expanded universe. That was actually less than half. I just got tired of doing that animation. Here's a list of the new Disney canon introducing Force heal. First popped up in a mobile game called Star Wars Uprising in 2015. Then Disney Plus introduced the power through Baby Yoda a week before The Rise of Skywalker came out. Didn't see anyone complaining about it then. So why is it okay for Baby Yoda to use Force heal, but it's not okay for Rey? And I think the reason is simple. A lot of angry Star Wars fans are YouTubers and bloggers who make a living off bashing Star Wars, so they nitpick certain things and zone in on it and block out anything that contradicts their opinion. I'm probably even guilty of that sometimes, to be honest, but instead of dying on that hill, I like to read your comments and see if I can gain new perspective. Maybe someday I'll read a comment that'll make me appreciate The Last Jedi, but I seriously doubt it. The problem with these YouTubers is they don't listen to other perspectives and their videos are designed to get fans riled up. Now you create a whole community who is bashing on the new movies because they're relying on information from someone they thought was an expert. Most of these angry YouTubers are only experts at shitting on Star Wars, and in the process they've completely forgotten how to love it. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I love love to hate on Star Wars just like you guys, but there's a certain place where I draw a line in the sand, and I think a lot of people cross it. Getting back on track here, I want to talk a little bit more about Rey. In my opinion, she has not been written very well since The Force Awakens, so I don't really care about her that much. But the fact that she is so powerful does not bother me, because the more I look into it, the more her powers make sense. In the Clone Wars TV series, as well as the novelization of The Last Jedi, a lot of facts are revealed about the Force, including how it is classified. There's the living Force, which is the energy of life. Force spirits are made possible through the living Force. The other side of the Force is known as the Cosmic Force. The Cosmic Force is what is responsible for restoring balance to the universe. It is described as the will of the universe. It was responsible for the virgin birth of Anakin Skywalker. George Lucas even went on record himself in the feature The Chosen One Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith DVD, stating that Anakin was and will always be the Chosen One. But the Chosen One is destined to destroy the Sith, not destroy the dark side of the Force itself. This explains how the dark side users like Kylo Ren and Snoke still exist. Here's where things get really interesting. The Cosmic Force and the will of the universe created Anakin and watched him grow from a slave to a Padawan learner to a Jedi Knight to a Sith Lord, and then fulfill his prophecy as the Chosen One. When Anakin's work was done and he lay dying, the Cosmic Force fell dormant. There was no more will of the universe. The Sith were defeated by the Chosen One, and most importantly, the son of the Chosen One was still alive. The Cosmic Force backed off and trusted the universe in Luke's hands. That was until Luke cut himself off from the Force. With the Chosen One being dead and the Chosen One's son in exile cut off from the Force, the Cosmic Force re-emerged, and this is how Rey came to be so powerful. Rey is not a product of a virgin birth like the Chosen One, but her powers come from the same place. There is a reason why places look familiar to her before, because she is directly connected to the Cosmic Force that created Vader.
I know this place.
You've seen this place.
She is not the Chosen One, she is an extension of the Cosmic Force. This information comes directly from the novelization of The Last Jedi. Snoke says that he assumed Skywalker would be the one the Cosmic Force chose to match the dark side strength of Kylo Ren, but he was wrong, that the Cosmic Force instead chose Rey. This is why her and Vader's themes are so similar, because they are both strongly connected to the Cosmic Force, with Anakin being the literal human embodiment of it.
The strings to join us, then it may become clearer.
Then again, it also says in the Last Jedi novel that Snoke was alive and Sidious could sense him before his death in Return of the Jedi, so none of that really makes sense anymore since we saw Snoke as just a clone that Sidious made, so any of that shit I said about Rey being part of the Cosmic Force technically only exists in a book that's basically been thrown out the window, so you can call her Mary Sue if you want. I really don't give a fuck anymore because neither does Lucasfilms. I think a lot of people say, well, Palpatine is back, and if he's still alive, then the Chosen One prophecy wasn't really fulfilled. And if there's anyone you want to blame for that, it's Jared Leto. I'm sorry, wrong video. It's Rian Johnson. Here's the position Rian Johnson left JJ in for Episode 9. He basically had 3 options, none of which were ideal. Option number 1, continue making Kylo Ren the main villain. This one doesn't work for a couple reasons. First off, this ruins his arc that JJ designed for him to return to the light side. A lot of people will say, well, JJ said after he killed his father, he was beyond redemption. Yeah, no shit, he said that. What was he supposed to say back in 2015? Oh, don't worry, he'll end up being a good guy in 4 years. He didn't want to ruin the trilogy for everyone. That was always the plan, and Ryan fucked that plan up big time by killing off Snoke for no reason other than to subvert expectations. Another reason that making Kylo Ren the main villain in Episode 9 doesn't work is it means that the good guys have to kill Han and Leia's son. Who the hell wants to see that? Just kind of seems like an awful way to end the trilogy. I mean, they already slaughtered Luke's character. I don't want to see Han's son murdered by the good guys. That's not what this trilogy was supposed to be about. I don't know what this trilogy is supposed to be about, but it's not that.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
I'm not so sure about that, Carrie, but I still love you. Also, any source that is reporting that the plan all along was always to bring back Palpatine for Episode 9 is reporting fake news. You don't have to believe me, but I know I don't believe this shit. Option number 2, bring in a new unheard of villain. It's rumored that this was the route JJ wanted to take, but it was shot down by Kathleen Kennedy. Bringing in a new villain at the last episode would have been so confusing, these movies would make less sense than they already do. Option number 3, you bring back Palpatine. He's already been in episodes 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Why not shoehorn him into 9? JJ was left with no good options. Either kill Kylo Ren as the bad guy and make the Disney trilogy about slaughtering Han and Leia's son, or try and save Ben's arc and just bring back Palpatine. It's rumored there was like 9 different versions of this scene, but they tried to write it in a way where it still made Anakin's sacrifice have meaning, and they kind of fucked it up. And JJ knew some fans might still have issues with this, so to further protect the legacy of the Chosen One and Anakin Skywalker, JJ had Anakin come back as a Force ghost. In one of the greatest moments in Star Wars history, Anakin, his son Luke, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Mace Windu descend from the Netherworld. They appear as Force ghosts next to Rey. They all ignite their lightsabers one final time and square off against Sidious together. The Jedi work to shield Rey from all the Sith, and Anakin stands next to Rey to battle his old Sith master Sidious one final time. Sidious looks upon Anakin's human form for the first time since he became his apprentice. "You're supposed to be dead. As long as you're still alive, the will of the Force will send me back to defeat you." Anakin stands behind Rey. He transfers the last of his living Force energy into her to destroy Sidious. Luke watches as his father gives his life up as a Force ghost so he can restore the balance of the universe. A single tear runs down Luke's face. He fights it back as he tries to remain strong for his father. It's the greatest sacrifice he's witnessed since they fought Sidious together during the Battle of Yavin. Rey is able to destroy Sidious with the help of Anakin. Then Anakin fades away into nothing. No longer a human, no longer a Force ghost. He becomes one with the cosmic Force just as he was before he was born. It's one of the greatest battle moments in the history of all of Star Wars, but Disney cut it due to time constraints. Did I mention Star Wars has made me an alcoholic? But who knows what to believe. There's people that think there's a JJ cut that we didn't get to see, and there's people who say there is no JJ cut, that they never worked on Force Ghost Anakin. Everyone from Disney to Lucasfilms to JJ Abrams to Chris Terrio is in damage control mode, and everyone seems to be pointing fingers at someone else. At this point, proving the existence of aliens is easier than proving what the hell happened to this movie. I know the guy that claims that there was never a Force Ghost of Anakin works for Lucasfilms, so it's in his best interest to claim that they never worked on it, and in the article it says, Rey hears the voice of Hayden Christensen's Anakin, along with those of the other past Jedi, which he believed was a sufficient tribute, deeming it a really fabulous moment. And I think a lot of us agree that the Chosen One being shoved into the background alongside dozens of other voiceovers while Rey fights Palpatine isn't a fabulous moment. Hayden Christensen was given the same amount of lines in this movie as Freddie Prinze Jr. was. A real fabulous moment would have been seeing Hayden Christensen on screen again. But whatever, I can't even talk about this anymore, it's hurting my brain. So yeah, after thousands of generations of the Force being off balance, Anakin's Chosen One prophecy restored the balance. For 30 years. And then it got fucked up again. Although I guess the Force seemed more balanced for the thousands of generations that the Jedi were in control of the Republic, right? I guess restoring the balance means eliminating all the Jedi and Sith? Wait, what the fuck does restore the balance even mean? Hold up, I thought it just meant getting rid of the Sith. Alright, according to George Lucas in the introductory documentary for the VHS version of A New Hope Special Edition, he said, "Many fans incorrectly assume that the balance refers to an equal mix of both light and dark side users. This is not the case. Anakin's offspring redeem him and allow him to fulfill the prophecy where he brings balance to the Force by doing away with the Sith and getting rid of evil in the universe." Alright, so if that's the case, why are Mace Windu and Yoda worried about restoring balance during this scene? Shit seems pretty balanced to me. There's like 100 light side users here. This prophecy is actually starting to sound like a load of bullshit.
The Mandalorian, now streaming on Disney+.